Now, for the example is this. So 4 all over x squared minus 25 greater than 0. Solve the rational inequality and write the solution in the interval notation. 4 all over x squared minus 25 greater than 0. So there's 3 or 4 steps on how to solve. So step number 1 is you separate, you make sure one side is equals to what? Is 0. So that means you bring all the other terms to the other side, and then you leave the other side to be 0, okay? So basically what you do, you bring all these terms to the left. So step number 1 is, and then you make sure the other side, so you make sure the right side is what? Is 0. So this side is 0. So if there is some term on the other, on the left, on the right, you bring that term to this side and you make it to be 0.
What would, does it have to be the right side?
It can be the right side or the left side, either way.
Either way.
But in our case, let's make the right side to be equals to be 0.
Right.
Okay. Number two, you now get the critical points. And the critical points are the points where this is equals to 0 or undefined. The point where this, let's say this one, the point where it is 0 or undefined. 0 or undefined. So from the first step, we have brought all the values to this side, okay, right? Then the second one is get a critical point. So the critical points are the points where this 4 all over x squared minus 2 is 0 or is undefined. Is 0 or undefined. Now you look for the values where 4 all over x squared minus 25 is 0 or undefined. Okay? So if you want to make this solution, or this 4 all over x squared minus 25 to be undefined, then that means we equate what to be 0, which is we let x squared minus 25 equals to 0, right?
Mm-hmm.
So what are the points where this will be 0? So this is similar to x minus 5, x plus 5, right?
Mm-hmm.
Equals to 0. So the points where this would be undefined are x equals to 5 and x equals to negative 5. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
So those are the points where they are undefined. Now, is there a point when it will be 0? There is no, right? Because if for the point to be 0, then that means that numerator, you equate the numerator to be 0, right? Mm-hmm. But we don't have any value of x here. So we only have the constant, which is 4. So that means the only thing that can give us the critical point is when it is undefined, right? So we have the 2 points which are x equals to 5 and x equals to minus 5 to be the points where this will be undefined. Number 3. So in number 3 now, you create now the levels. Using the points where it becomes undefined, you create the levels on the number line. So you come to the number line, okay? So this is 0. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And all these are negative. Then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. All these are positive. So you make the levels. Now we have the x equals to minus 5, which is this point. So we have that one. And x equals to 5, which is that point. Okay? So we have those points. So those are the level. So we have this level, we have this one, and then we have the last one. Now, the intervals at this on these levels are at this point it is minus infinity 5, right? Right? So at this point it is minus infinity. So it is going from minus infinity to 5, right? And then at this region, from 5 to this one, then it is minus 5, 5, right? And then at this region, the last one is what? 5 minus what? Infinity. 5 minus infinity. So those are the levels that you create. So step number 1, make sure the right side is equals to 0. Step number 2, look for the critical points. And the critical points are when x is, when that side is 0 or undefined. So you get 2 levels there. And then you come and represent the levels on now the Cartesian plane or the number line. So you create the level. So when x is minus 5, when x is 5, like that. So those are the levels. Then number 3. So now after creating the levels, then you come and try to look for the points where it will agree with your solution. So let's create another one here so that we can. So let's say this is 0, it's -1, -2, -3, -4, 5, -6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Let's say 6. So and our label was this big one. Okay. Now, so step number 6. 6 is now we use a trial and error to check whether it will agree with our solution here. So 4 all over x squared minus 25 greater than 0. Now, so we can also write this one as, we have written as 4 all over x minus 5 x plus 5 is greater than 0, okay? Mm-hmm. Now, starting from this region, so we can start from the left. Now, if we put x, let's say, now, one thing you need to know, if we put x to be 5, or minus 5, sorry. if we put x to be minus 5 here, then our solution becomes what?
Undefined.
Undefined. And that solution will not be greater than what? 0. So that means we don't include that region. Are we together? So that means we are not including what? Minus 5. So when we are not including minus 5, what do we use? Which brackets are we? Are we using the brackets or we are using the parentheses?
Oh, parentheses.
Yes. So we are using the parentheses if we are not including. But if we are including, we use the brackets. Now, in our case, we are not going to use minus 5 because it will be what? Undefined. Now, if we go to minus 6, now if we bring minus 6 here, let's say for all over minus 6 minus 5, minus 6 plus 5. Is this greater than 0? Is this greater than 0? Okay, let's see. Minus 6 minus 5 is what? Minus 11, right? Minus 6 plus 5. So 4 all over minus 11 times what? Negative 1, right? Is this one greater than 0? So this is 4 all over 11. Is this one greater than 0? Yes. So this one what? Agrees. So that means at this region, yeah, so our number line will be what? Minus infinity. Are we including 5?
No.
So that means it is like that. Okay? So it is like that. So that region of our interval notation is in that region. Now let's come to any region here. Let's now use any region around here. Let's take 0, okay? Let's take x to be equals to 0. Now, 4 all over x minus 5, x plus 5. Is it greater than 0? When x is equals to 0, let's put x equals to 0. So 4 over 0 minus 5, 0 plus 5, 0 minus 5. Is this greater than 0? Okay, let's see. What is greater than 0? So 4 over what? 0, so it will be minus what? 25, right? Is this one greater than 0? So it is negative 4 over 25. Is it greater than 0?
No.
No. So this one is not what?
No.
It's not greater than 0. So this region is not agreeing with what? With this inequality. Okay? So it is not agreeing with that inequality. It is not agreeing with this inequality. Now let's go to the next level. And the next level is above, so therefore we are not including what? 5, right?
Right.
Because if we put 5 here, then it will be what? Undefined, right? So we are not including 5. So we can take 6. So when x equals to 6, so when x equals to 6, so it will be, so we can just use 4 all over x squared minus 25 greater than 0. So when x equals to 6, then it will be 4 over what? 36 minus what? 25. Is it greater than 0? It is greater than 0 because 36 minus 25 is what?
12.
Is
11.
11. And that one is what? Agreeing with that. So therefore, our interval notation there will be what? 5. Are we including 5?
No.
No. Infinity. So what is our overall interval notation for this? So it will be
Negative infinity, negative
minus
5.
infinity 5, union 5.
That'd be negative 5, wouldn't it, on the first one?
Oh yeah, negative 5.
Yeah.
So this is negative. So those are the steps that you need to use. So those are the steps. Is that clear? Okay, so we can do another example. We see how it goes. So example 2. Okay, guys online, are we together? Any question?
Not so far, thank you.
Nope, no questions.
Okay. All right, example number 2. So solve the rational inequality. So solve the rational inequality. And write the solution in interval notation. So we have 2 all over 6x squared minus 13x plus 6 less or equals to 0. So looking at this, the first step is done, right? So because we've brought all to one side. So step number 2, look for the critical point. For the critical point, you look for the points when this one is undefined or 0. So we cannot get the one for 0, right? Because the numerator is just a constant.
Right.
So therefore, we need to look for the one which is what?
Undefined.
Undefined. Undefined. So to look for the one which is undefined, then we equate the denominator to 0. So x squared minus 13x plus 6 equals to 0. So the product is 36. The sum is minus 13. What are the two numbers?
-9,
Negative 9 and
-4.
so if we take negative 9 and negative 4, so 6x squared minus 4x minus 9x plus 6 equals to 0. So 2x. So 3x minus 2, right? Minus 3. 3x minus 2 equals to 0. Equals to 0. So 2x using the zero product property, then 3x minus 2 equals to 0. So our x equals to what? 3 over 2 or what? 2 over what? 2 all over 3. 3 over 2, 2 all over 3. Now, this is what? Our critical.
Right.
So critical point. So this is our critical point. So step number 3, you do what? You create the levels there. So you come here, so 0 there. So you can take 1 and 1, 2. All of them are positive, right? So all of them are positive. So 3 over 2 is like 1.5. So 1.5 is, let's say, somewhere there. So this is 1.5. So that is one level. 2 over 3 is like 0.66. 0.66. Let's say it's somewhere 0.67. So those are the levels. So here, our interval notation, and this region is what? Minus infinity to what? 0 to 2 over 3, right? And then this region is what? 2 over 3, 3 over 2. And this region is what? 3 over 2, infinity. 3 over 2 infinity. So those are our levels. So those are our levels. And if we come back here and draw it again here. So we can just put here 0 there, -1. Then it goes that way. So you can put here 1. And then we can put here 2. It goes that way. So we have 2 over 3 here. And then we have 3 all over 2 there. Okay? All right. So 2 over 3, 3 over 2. Now, our inequality is 2 over 3, 6x squared minus 13x plus 6 is less or equals to 0. Now we start from the left, okay? Now you can put any value. So you can put the easiest one when x equals to what? 0. So we start from when x equals to 0. What will this be? It will be what? Say 2 over 6. Is 2 over 6 less than or equals to 0? Is 2 over 6 less or equals to 0?
No.
Is it less or equals to 0? It is not, right? So this is not. So this region is not what? This region is not included. Okay? Am I clear on that? Yes. Okay, let's come to this. So this is not. So let's come to the next one. This region, when x equals to 1. So when x equals to 1, then it will be 2 all over 6 minus 13 plus 6. Is it less or equals to 0? So 6 minus 13 is what?
Negative.
Plus 6. So 6 plus 6 is 12, right? 12 minus 13 is -1. So it will be -2 less or equals to 0. Is this less or equals to 0?
Yes.
Yes. So this region is agreed. So this one is no. So let's come to the last one there.
Where do you get the 6 minus 13 plus 6?
So when x is 1, so when you come and put 1 here, so 6 times 1 raised to
2 is 1.
1 is 1.
Yeah.
1 raised to 1 here, so 6 minus 13 plus 6. So you get that. Okay.
Is that? Go ahead. Never mind.
You had a question?
Maybe after this. Go ahead.
Okay. All right, so let's go to the next one, the next level. So when x equals to 2, you take x equals to 2, which is here. After 3 over 2, okay? So when x equals to 2. So you come here, 2 all over 6, 2 square, minus 13 times 2, plus what? 6. It leaves less or equals to 0. Is that one less or equals to 0? So this is equals to 2 over 24 minus 26 plus 6. Is this one less or equals to 0?
No.
It is not. So that means this is not. So what is our interval notation there?
2/3, 3/2.
So our interval notation is what? 2 over 3, 3 over 2. Are we including 2 over 3 and 3 over 2?
Yes.
Are we?
Yes.
How?
Because it's equal to.
No. But if we put 2 over 3 here, it will become what? Undefined. Right?
So even when the sign's equal to each other.
Yes. So if we put, let's say 2 over 3 here, it
Okay.
becomes what?
It's undefined.
Undefined. And undefined is not?
It's not even, okay.
Yeah, it is not less or equals to 0.
Okay.
If we put 3 over 2, it becomes undefined.
Right.
So it will not be less
So-
or equals
Okay,
to
so it's pretty
0. Yeah. So it will just be like that.
So now, is it always the pattern of their house every other? Because like on the last question,
Uh-huh.
it was like the outsides were included and the middle wasn't.
Yes, yes, it's just the same pattern.
And that's how this one, the middle was included and the two outsides weren't.
Yeah, the outside one, I don't think it's important. Anyway, you need to try all of them,
You have to try all
all
three.
the levels.
Okay,
Yeah, so you try the left, you come to the next, and then you come to the last. You see
Okay.
whether this one is a green, this region is a green, this region is a green, and then,
okay.
yeah,
Because you see what I'm saying, how like both times they've been.
yeah. Okay, so let's look at the next example. Any question up to there?
No, sir.
So let's look at the next example here. So example, let's say number 3. X plus 8 all over x plus 3 greater than 0. X plus 8 all over x plus 3 greater than 0. So solve this one and write in interval notation. So step number 1 has been done for you. Now come to step number 2. Look for the value which will give us 0 or what?
Undefined.
Undefined. So the one, in fact, we are finding the one which is giving us 0 here, right? So here, the one which is giving us 0 is x plus 8 equals to 0, right?
Mhm.
So x equals to what?
Mhm.
Negative 8. So this is critical point. Another one is the one for what? Undefined, right?
Mhm.
When x equals to 3 for the undefined. So x plus 3 equals to 0. So x equals to what? Minus 3. So this is another critical point.
Do you only take the numerator when it has x up there? See what I'm saying, like on the previous examples?
So the previous example, it is not giving us 0. Okay?
Okay,
So because for it to give us a 0, then that means the numerator should be what? 0. For this one to give us 0, then that means the numerator here, which is x plus 8, should be 0. So if the numerator is 0, then 0 over anything is what? Is 0.
0.
Yeah. So 0 all over anything is 0. For it to be undefined, then the denominator should be what? 0. So anything all over 0 is what? Undefined.
Undefined.
Anything all over 0 is undefined. So we now have 2 critical points, the one which is 0 and the one which is what? Undefined. So we now create call it what? Number line. So you can put here 0, negative 1, and then it goes like that. So negative 1, negative 2, negative 3, negative 4, 5, and negative 6, negative 7, negative 8. Then it goes that way. Let's say negative 9. So our level there is So we have x equals to negative 8 and x equals to negative 3. So those are our levels. So therefore, at this region, it is negative infinity, negative 8, right? Then we have negative 8, negative 3, then we have negative 3, infinity. Okay, now let's try. Okay, let's try. When x equals to, let's put minus 9. When x equals to minus 9. So what will be this? So x plus 8 all over x plus 3 greater than 0. When x equals to minus 9. So let's put minus 9 where there is x. So minus 9 plus 8 all over minus 9 plus 3. Is this one greater than 0? Is that one greater than 0?
Yeah.
So minus 9 plus 8 is
-1,
negative 1. Minus 9 plus 3 is
-7.
negative 7. So negative all over negative is what?
Positive.
Positive. So this region is what?
Good.
Now, when x is minus 8, when x is minus 8, okay?
Mhm.
When x is minus 8, when you put x there to be minus 8, so the upper one will be 0, right?
Mhm.
Yeah.
So is 0. So if the upper one is 0, which is the numerator is 0, is 0 greater than 0?
No.
It is not, right?
Correct.
So we are not
You don't
including.
negative
So therefore, we are not including.
8. Negative 8.
So that means our interval there will be minus infinity and 8, because this region is doing what? Agreeing
Right.
with that solution, right?
It's negative 8.
Negative 8. So we are not including 8, minus 8. Now, let's come to this region level. Now, let's take x equals to, we can take anything, let's say minus 6, when x is minus 6. So minus 6 plus 8 all over minus 6 plus 3. Is this one greater than 0? Is that one greater than 0?
No.
So minus 6 plus 8 is what?
2.
2, right? 2, right?
Yes. Yeah.
Minus 6 plus 3 is,
Negative 3.
so that is negative, right?
Negative 2.
So is negative greater than 0? No. So this region is not what?
No.
It's not agreeing with that. So
See.
let's come.
It's a pattern. The next one's gonna agree.
Okay, let's see. So let's come to this. Don't guess this one in your exam because you might, you might fail. So you need to try. So let's take when x is what? 0, okay? So when x equals to 0. When x equals to 0. So it will be 0 plus 8 all over 0 plus 3. Is this one greater than 0?
Yeah.
Yes.
Huh.
So that region is agreeing. Are we including minus 3?
No.
No. So therefore, it will be what? Minus 3 and what? Infinity. And now our interval notation will be what? Minus 8, minus infinity, minus 8, union, minus 3, 8. So that is our solution. Very easy, right?
Mhm.
I know you will not write this one in your exam. I know it's very easy when we're doing it in class,
Yeah.
but when I leave you guys alone, I don't know what to write. Okay, so hopefully you'll be okay. Okay, so
You wanna do the exam for me?
what?
You wanna do the exam for me?
You want me to stay in jail or what?
Yeah.
Okay, so let's, what is it then? Oh, well, we have 7 minutes. We can do this one in 7 minutes. So let's try this. So x plus 6 all over x minus 5 greater or equals to 0. So the first step is done for you. The next step, we look for zeros and what? Undefined and 0. So x plus 6 equals 0. So that means x equals minus 6. So this is our critical
For 0.
point. X minus 5 equals 0, x equals to 5. This is another critical point. So we come to the Cartesian plane. So we have 0 there. Let's just put here minus 5, then here minus 6. So we have the levels there. So at this region, we have minus infinity, minus 6. We have minus 6, 5. Then we have 5 and 1, infinity. Okay, let's try. So x plus 6 all over x minus 5 greater or equals to 0. So let's put any point when x is minus 7. So it will be minus 7 plus 6 all over minus 7 minus 5. Is this one greater or equals to 0? So minus 7 plus 6 is minus 1. Minus 7 minus 5 is, so negative and negative will be positive, right? So this region is big one. Big, right? Now, if we take minus 6 there, if we take minus 6, then it is doing what? It is 0, right?
Yeah.
Is 0 greater or equals to 0?
Yes.
Yes. So therefore, our region there will be what? Minus infinity, minus 6. Okay, because we are including minus 6. Now, let's come to this region, the middle one. When x is 0, we can put an x equals to 0. So it will be 0 plus 6 all over 0 minus 5. Is it greater or equals to 0? It is not. So this region is not. The last one there.
It works.
X plus 6 all over x minus 5 greater than. So we can take 6, okay? So 6 plus 6 all over 6 minus 5. Is it greater or equals to 0?
Yes.
Yes. Are we including 5?
No,
No. Because if you include 5, it becomes what?
undefined.
Undefined. So therefore, it will be minus infinity minus 6 union 5 infinity. And that is our solution. Are we together up to there? Any question? Any question online?
No, no question.
No, thank you.
Are we together? All right, so if we are good, then you guys can, if you don't have any question, then we can meet on Friday. So when we meet on Friday, then we can see what, I think it's 8.1. Now it will be chapter 8, but it will not be in your exam.
So are we gonna have a quiz this weekend and then the test on Monday?
No, no, no.
So just study for the test?
So you need to study for your test over the weekend.
Okay.
Yeah, so I need to even grade your quiz that you did last week.
Yeah.
Right, so we can meet on Friday and then we see what, so those guys who maybe, oh, all these guys left, huh? So let's meet on Friday.